Gauteng Premier says government is succeeding in providing education to everyone, and the people of Greece will vote shortly in parliamentary elections. Good morning, I'm Karabo Malati. Gauteng Premier Nomvula Mokonyane says government is succeeding in providing education to everyone. She was speaking at the 36th anniversary of the commemoration of the June 16 uprising in Soweto yesterday. Mokonyane says the 1976 generation must be pleased to know that the South Africa of today encourages children to learn in a language of their choice, irrespective of race or gender.
Today, government is in pursuit of ensuring that there's quality education for all, and most importantly, there is no influx control or separate development. And indeed, that's the reason why we have to celebrate.
Opposition parties have lambasted government for a lack of progress around youth unemployment and education. Many opposition politicians believe that not enough is being done to promote youth development. DA leader Helen Zille says the government has failed to respond to the unemployment crisis. The DA has been lobbying for the implementation of the youth wage subsidy, which COSATU says will not benefit the youth. UDM leader Bantu Holomisa has lamented a lack of basic infrastructure that so many schools still have to contend with. Meanwhile, IFP leader Mangosuthu Buthelezi says South Africa is in a crisis and young people who can't find jobs are the ones suffering the most. Limpopo Premier Castle Matale says his administration doesn't need youth wage subsidies to employ young people. He was addressing the June 16 rally at Khasikororo outside Tzaneen. On Friday, the DA marched to Matale's office to demand that his administration consider paying young people a monthly youth wage subsidy to curb the problem of youth unemployment. The SABC's Rodzani Chevase has more.
Premier Matale says he's working with the mining companies in the province to create jobs for young people. He says there are a number of infrastructure projects in the province, such as road construction, which employ young people. Hundreds of young people from all over the province attended the June 16 rally at Khasikororo outside Tzaneen. Rodzani Chevase, SABC Radio News, Tzaneen.
Earlier, Minister in the Presidency Collins Chabane, giving the main Youth Day address in Port Elizabeth, said the deadlock over the youth wage subsidies had to be speedily resolved. Further afield, Egypt's biggest political movement, the Muslim Brotherhood, has denounced the dissolution of parliament by the ruling military council as unlawful. Reacting to the confirmation of the dissolution, the Brotherhood said the council had no such right under the constitution. The BBC's John Lyne reports.
Just as Egyptians were coming out to vote for a new president, they received the final confirmation that their earlier votes for parliament had been annulled. The top official in parliament confirmed to the BBC he'd received an official decree from the head of the ruling military council, Field Marshal Tantawi, to say that parliament was dissolved. That interpretation has not been accepted by the largest force in parliament, the Muslim Brotherhood, setting the stage for a possible confrontation. Official media say soldiers have been ordered not to let MPs into parliament.
On the international front, the people of Greece will vote shortly in a parliamentary election which could decide whether their country should remain in the European single currency. German Chancellor Angela Merkel has urged Greeks to elect a government that will stick to the austerity measures agreed as an international bailout. The BBC's Mark Lowen has more.
The two frontrunners are from opposite sides. Antonis Samaras of the centre-right New Democracy Party wants to pursue the cost-cutting here and keep Greece's international bailout, albeit with some lightening of the burden. But Alexis Tsipras is a tough challenger. Leader of the leftist Syriza, he wants to scrap the bailout and halt the cuts. Brussels says that could lead Greece into bankruptcy and out of the euro. And so there has been an unprecedented intervention by EU leaders for fear that a Greek exit from the Eurozone could set off a chain reaction elsewhere.
And finally, United States President Barack Obama says he'll spend Father's Day today with his daughters. Obama, father to 13-year-old Malia and 11-year-old Sasha, wrote in his memoir, Dreams of My Father, about growing up fatherless after his father left the family when he was 2 years old. During a 2007 campaign stop, he described a lack of a father in his life as one of the experiences that helped shape his life. And on that note, to all the dads, happy Father's Day.